Council Common Council to order on March 2nd, 2022. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Strobush. Here. Van Blerko.
Here.
Isaacson.
Here.
Bueno.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Elgin.
Here. Is there anybody here for public comment? No, I don't see any public comment. Denise Prey, my neighbor and also candidate for the Polk County Board, is very sick with a cold and she didn't want to come down here. She was going to introduce herself tonight. But she didn't make it. She'll be at the Amy Community Club meeting on March 14th for that. So no public comment. Consent agenda items, minutes, City Council February 2nd, special City Council meetings February 15th and 24th, and committee to hold February 15th.
Motion to approve consent items.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. First on the list, certified survey map for South Industrial Park.
All right, Mayor, members of council, this is the 20-acre parcel that we've been looking at for years now. And this is the CSM to put the road in, put the right of way in, and then we broke it out into 3 lots that hopefully you're looking at in front of you there.
Yes.
So there's 3 different lots. We got 11.5, 3.8, and 3.3. This is needed to have the right of way to be able to put in the public utilities, put in the road, all of that. And then this could be broken down into smaller lots as developments come in and we can suit to that. Any questions?
I'm curious as to why there's 296 feet on the east-west boundary on the west side of it and 234 on the east side instead of straight down the middle.
Where
When you look at the CSM, the south east-west line,
I see.
the road's not centered. Is there a reason for that or?
The piece of parcel runs like this.
Yeah.
It looks like, I didn't notice that also.
We're closer to on center for the 40, or half the 40. You know, we had looked at future extension of that road into the parcel to the south. And to be quite honest, I don't know how we ended up with it not exactly centered. We were looking at lot sizes on both of the streets that time.
Pretty similar.
Yeah. So it's close. I don't know why we didn't.
So does that come out, is the 40 to the south directly south of that?
Well, the west line of the 20 is half the 40.
So the airport 20 acres is directly south of this one.
Correct.
Yeah,
Directly.
correct. Yeah.
So is that gonna require, if we go south across that, a jog in the road to get it back to center or?
If we would want to get back to center, but I don't know that we would want to get back. I think we would keep it running straight. Like it wouldn't be a jog.
And I think I asked you or to talk with the SEH because they're doing the airport layout plan. We got another part of your organization, and
Yeah.
so hopefully you both came to agreement that that's.
We did. They reviewed it to make sure that it wasn't anything in conflict with what they were doing or any future plans or anything. see any.
So is the road north and south, or is the 40 lines have a magnetic deviation there?
I don't know. I honestly don't. Well, we can look at so that it looks like the 40 lines are slightly off. Because you look at the west line and it's north 2 degrees in some minutes. And same with the east line. So those aren't quite north-south.
Is my question here, there's going to be a roundabout at the end?
Yep.
Is that water going to be subbed? The water and sewer going to extend past that roundabout a foot or two, so there's connection without breaking up the road in the future?
Yeah, that'll be a temporary cul-de-sac at the end.
Oh,
And
got it.
Yeah, water and sewer will be stubbed right up to the end of it.
Okay.
So no
future
blacktop, no blacktop on
No
that.
blacktop on that end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. It's almost done. They moved a lot of dirt out
They're
there.
busy every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion to approve that CSM or
I believe so.
Yes.
motion to approve the CSM as presented.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. South Industrial Park utility easements.
So there's a couple of different easements that we needed to obtain, the biggest of which were on Ron Anderson's property directly to the north. We extended water up to loop the water. And in doing that, realized that there aren't easements for the existing lift station, sanitary sewer, and force main up there.
Oh,
Now, don't know how that happened. Maybe it was a deal where, that development said, hey, this is gonna go in next year. There's no reason to do easements. Who knows? But Ron agreed that we should clean it up now, make sure that there are easements there. So it's both easement for the new water we put in and the existing sewer that's out there. And then also when we were going through the design with the other utilities being gas, electric, communications, they asked for a 10-foot easement outside of the right of way that exists today on the east-west one. So that's a 10-foot utility easement on either side of the street there.
so that's for gas
Gas, electric, communication.
communications. Okay.
And actually, I've already seen the gas plan. They're all in plan stage or design stage. And I've seen the plan for the gas, and gas will actually not be in the right of way. It doesn't need the easement, but at that meeting, they requested a 10-foot easement, which is typical of utility easement ones.
Okay. Is this another item that we approve to send off to Ron, or?
Yeah, you approve it, and then I seek signatures from Ron and the co-op.
Okay,
And make a motion to approve the South Industrial Park utility easements.
Second.
any further discussion?
There's 2 easements here, right? And we're
Yep.
motioning on both,
3 total.
Yes.
3
all
total,
three.
we're motioning on all 3,
Yes.
making sure we're on the same page.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And let's see, we got Soldiers Field feasibility study.
So this came up, I think at the last committee of the whole meeting, or maybe it was a council meeting. I don't remember what agenda it hit, but came back up feasibility study of Soldiers Field. I actually provided a proposal back in October, and so you have that in your packet tonight. This is to look at Soldiers Field. We'll have soil borings done, look at water, sewer that's available, general development option, suitability for this site. And we'll put it together in a report, then you can hand that to different interested parties, so know what's there.
So it's gonna turn out to be about 15,500 or so.
15, yeah, that's an estimate on the boring, so about 5,000. We'll seek proposals from a couple of firms. And that'll be contracted directly with the city. But yeah, around 15 total with them. It's estimated.
And this will also tell us if it's buildable or what parts are buildable as is without.
I'm
Yeah.
sure the subsoil is gonna be interesting, just like it was for the street.
So, right, you know, the sawdust
Yeah.
that could exist over here too. And so, yeah, a big part of it, I think a big part of it that will be interest of, you know, people coming in and looking at it is the soil borings and the report that's done by that geotechnical firm to, you know, what's there. And then based on what's there, what do you have to do to put in a building parking lot?
Because of its proximity to the lake and almost at the water table. Is not there any other DNR concerns or anything like that?
Not, well, there's concerns, but it doesn't, I don't think it renders it unbuildable. You know, so groundwater is likely very close, which we'll find out in the borings too, I think. And that, you know, adds some difficulty and with difficulty cost to development, but then you'll know what's there and what has to be done to build.
And I also know that Bones 2-3 summers ago dug a 6-foot deep hole in the middle of the football field. And to his surprise, it didn't fill up full of water. So we couldn't figure it out. The land there is
It's the
6
sawdust.
feet.
No, it's the sawdust.
There wasn't any sawdust in there.
It's all the sawdust around it absorbing the water.
So, but we've also had in contact with Amy Economic Development for somebody who wants to put in some housing there, and I don't think Paul has brought this up yet, but it just happened within the last couple of weeks. So
Did we not also petition them for half the cost of this?
that was for the Bobber Park.
Oh, I thought we just did that, too.
No, I recall it being the
Huh?
Bobber Park. I recall it being the Bobber Park as well.
I think I recommend or discussed that option, but I don't think it was ever
No, we
followed
didn't.
through on.
Okay.
Do you need approval on that or what do you? what do you need from us?
Yeah, if you want to proceed with the assessment, then we need an approval.
If it's for sale, we need to assess what can be done with it.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the Soldier Field feasibility study.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Eric. On here, we have resolution 01-2022, resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of $2 million in general obligation promissory notes. I read through the document that $2 million worth of general obligation promissory notes will be sold to BMO Harris at 2.1% interest on a 10-year note with the balloon is $652,000 in 2032. Is that right, Beth? That was what we talked about.
We have Jordan on also that can speak. It looks like.
Okay.
Hi, hello, everybody. Yeah, so I'll just, I know Justin presented the whole plan to the council last month, so I'll try to go over this pretty quick. But after the last council's meeting, we finished up what we call the term sheet for this deal, the offering document, and sent it out to our network of banks with the bids being due last week. So do you guys all have the summary that was sent to the city in front of you? I'm sorry?
Yes.
You do? Okay, perfect. So going on to page 2 is the results of the bids that we received. The first thing to note is that even in this very volatile market, we received 7 bids for this deal, which is pretty impressive, and the bids were pretty competitive. So you'll see of the 7 bids, BMO Harris Bank was the winner at a rate of 2.10%. And then going on to the next page, details this specific issuance. So $2 million settling on April 1st, being amortized over the next 10 years. And an important feature to the city is that it's callable beginning this October. So as additional funds come in from the TID, the city has the option to prepay this debt along the way. Moving on to the final page is our financing plan for this issuance. You'll see we maintain the structure of paying roughly $180,000 annually until that final payment in 2023. I know that was a very high level summary of this. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't.
What was the rate?
2.10%.
And that corresponded with the chart of indebtedness that we were presented last month also, right?
And the rate is actually lower than what we were quoted last month as well, so.
Right. So last month we presented an estimated rate of 2.50%. So yeah, this came in at 0.4% lower than what we were estimating.
We need a motion for the
So yes, we need a
resolution.
motion.
So I'll make a motion to approve resolution 01-2022, authorizing the issuance and sale of $2 million general obligation promissory notes as presented.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
I-
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
And number 5 on the agenda here, draft developers agreement for Apple River Sanctuary subdivision. If I remember right, we were going to put this together and approve it to move on to Gary, and if we're both in agreement, then we can move forward on this. But it looks like Dave Rasmussen did his homework. Is there anything that we need to know, Eric, that did you call in or any?
Not that Dave alerted me to.
Okay. Actually, it looks like it's a pretty good way to get started and getting some housing development done within the city of Bainbridge, because otherwise I don't think anybody's going to be able to come up with that money and come out ahead. And I believe Dave has worked this out so it covers us. And as far as the map, I think he'll come if we're agreeable with the developers agreement. And Gary is agreeable, then we can get together and draw up a map of what it's going to insist with the And Ben and I looked at that today, and it looks like it'll work out pretty good. But so, any comments, any questions?
Well, this looks like a fine template, but I mean, I think the developer has to complete it before I think we really, I mean, we can approve the template, but they still need to complete it and then we need to review it.
Correct, right, and that's what we would be doing tonight, would be approving the template to pass on to Gary. And to make sure, because he'll want to pass it by his lawyer and banker, and we can come back
This is
and.
not a final draft by any means.
But if he approves it as written and we approve it as to move it on to him, then we'd have to,
Well,
Do
so
we
have
do-
to come back to us
Mhm.
before we,
yeah, that's
For
come back to
final
us, yeah.
approval.
So,
so I'd make a motion to approve the draft developers agreement.
No, second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.